Why do we need articles? I'm sure in your blur information you will definitely know that articles are somewhere like a and the. But I want to ask you a question. What is the role of each one of them and why do you exactly need them? So articles define noun as specific or unspecific. What does that mean? Let's understand with an example. She is an actress. In this case, we are talking about a random situation that shows an unspecific noun. On the other hand, he will come to the United Kingdoms. In this case, we are talking about United Kingdoms, which is a combination of multiple countries. And hence, we are talking about a specific noun, United Kingdoms. And that's why we use articles like a and the. Don't worry about them. We have more slides coming up to explain each one of them in particular. But the general idea remains the same, that articles define noun as specific or unspecific. Like an actress is an unspecific noun, United Kingdoms is a specific noun. Moving on, let's understand how many types of articles do we have. As we discussed in the past slide that a and the were the articles that we have an information about, but in particular we classify them as indefinite or definite article. Indefinite talks about, as you know, unspecific noun. Definite article talks about specific noun. So let's understand what is the use of a. Whenever you have a word that begins with a consonant sound, please focus here. Any sound apart from a, e, I, o, u is considered as a consonant sound. So whenever you find a word that begins with a consonant sound, you will simply use a. Example, a European. So if you focus on here, the word starts with a vowel, but the sound is coming off y-u, European. So that shows it is a consonant sound and we are meant to use a. On the other hand, we have another word coming up, university. Same goes with this, u-y-u-versity, university. So the words start with a vowel, but the sound is a consonant. So we have no option left and it's mandatory to use a in front of the word. On the other hand, or coming up, whenever you find an abbreviation that is spoken as a single word. For example, a FIFA player. You never say a FIFA player, but you say a FIFA player. FIFA goes together. So it's an abbreviation that is spoken as a single word and hence you can use a in front of that. A SWAT team. You will never hear anybody say SWAT team, but they will say SWAT team. So in those kind of abbreviation where they are spoken as a single word, please use a. Moving on, what is the use of an? An, on the other hand, is used before a word that begins with a vowel sound. As I said earlier, a, e, I, o, u. So don't get confused that whenever a word starts with a, e, I, o, u, you will just simply use an. Focus on the sound that the word creates. An umbrella, an apple. So apple starts with a sound, umbrella starts with sound. Both the cases you can use an. Also, an is used before abbreviation that are spoken as individual letters. Simple example and very referable one is MBA. So you take the sound, you pronounce each word, each letter separately. MBA. And there's always a dot in between. So you can use an. An FBI agent. You will never hear anybody saying FIBI agent. Instead, they will say FBI. In those cases, please feel free to use an. I hope the simple difference between a and an are clear so far. If not, please go back to the slide 1 and start again. Moving on, in certain cases you have words with silent H sound, like an honest player. So the word starts with H, but the sound starts with O. I repeat, the word starts with the letter H, but the sound comes off O. So you don't say honest player. Instead, you say honest player. As I said earlier, whenever you have a vowel sound, please use an hour ago. So the sound comes R, or the sound. It doesn't come like har. H sound is silent here. So we are free to use an. Moving on, there are certain cases where both a and an can be used, and also one more word as one can be used. So whenever we want to talk about a job a person does, we are free to talk with the articles a and n. She wants to be a musician, or Ram is an astronaut. In both the cases, we are talking about the profession or the job a person does, and hence, if you notice here, before the noun you have used article a and n. Or when you want to indicate something for the first time, please focus. We don't know about the situation, we are talking about it for the very first time. It's mandatory that we use a and n. I need a computer. So this is the first time I'm raising a request of a computer. Can you pass me an apple? This is the first time and I'm indicating to an apple that I want to eat. In both the cases, I've used a or an. A in here because the vowel it's a consonant sound. In here, it's a vowel sound, and hence we have used an. Moving on, a and an is also used before singular countable nouns. They are countable and they are singular nouns. And in those cases, we can use one. Sometimes you will find in a sentence instead of a and n, they have used one. Like, can I have one chocolate? Rather than saying, give me a chocolate, you generally prefer to say, give me one chocolate. I am going to India for a or 1 year. You can use both in this case. Please come here for an 1 hour. In both the cases, you can use an or one. So please focus, whenever you have singular countable nouns, you can always use one in place of a and n. Coming up, one is specifically used to emphasize on only one thing. So if you want to be more precise and you want to say, I just need one, you can always use O-N-E. I need one chocolate. Use one pencil and then the other. So I'm being very specific and I want to emphasize on only one thing, and hence I prefer to use one in place of a or n. Also, when you have a number and a quantity phrase, you cannot use one. Example, 3 times a day. So are you comfortable saying 3 times 1 day? I hope not. Or once in an hour. Can you say once in 1 hour? Would be quite confusing. So we prefer not to use one in number and quantity phrases. Here you have a number, here you have a quantity. So we don't use one in those cases. Also, an is used to refer to one from a group. Raising kids is a challenge for all parents. So there's a series of challenges and we are picking one out of many. In those cases also, you can use a or n when you want to focus on one from the entire group. Coming up is your definite article, that is the. The is used when you want to show that something is unique. Very simple definition. Never ever get confused with this. When you know something is very unique, feel free to use the. Lucknow is the capital city of UP. So there's only one Lucknow, there's only one UP in the entire world, and hence both are specific, both are unique. We can use the. Also, the sun is bright. Do we have 100 suns? We may, but for Earth, we have only one sun, and hence we can use the sun. When we know which thing or person we are referring to, if you remember from the slides of A and N, we referred that we want to talk about something for the very first time. We use A and N. But what about the situation that we know the thing or the person we are referring? In those cases, please use the. The girl we met yesterday. So this incident of meeting the girl happened yesterday. It's obvious that you know this girl now, and hence you can use the girl. Did you like the chair? In this case, the chair, I'm being very specific which chair I want to indicate to. So there might be a showroom which have 10 chairs and I'm indicating to one particular, I can say the chair. Or maybe we saw certain chairs and we had our mind on one. When we came back home, I asked my partner, did you like the chair? So he will have an understanding that which chair I'm referring to at that time. Also, the is used before superlatives, like it is the biggest match of the century. So the biggest shows a superlative degree. I picked the cheapest dress from the store. The cheapest, the biggest. So I want to show superlative degrees and hence I can use the. In some cases, you may fall into the pattern of the of, like at the back of my car. Please focus. I'm saying in a musical sound because there's a pattern that I want you to focus on. That is the something of something. In those cases, please use the. So it's clear cut, the space of space. That means some word has to be filled here. We will always use the. I dropped my glasses in the middle of the. So the, middle, the. So I can say the, blah, the of something. Also, the has a very specific use with some proper nouns. Like when you want to talk about seas and ocean, the Indian Ocean. There's only one Indian Ocean in the entire world and hence we can use the. Rivers, the Indus, the Ganges. Country name representing a group, like the United Kingdoms. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, many. The United States of America. The name itself suggests that it's a combination of multiple countries in there, like kingdoms, states. Mountain ranges, the Everest, the Mount Abu. Famous buildings like the Parliament. Nationalities like the Indian, the British. So you won't say the India. No, it's wrong. You will say the Indian, the British. Some other uses of the will be the moon, the tiger rays, the ground, the South Pole. These are some random examples that I've picked. Like the moon is only one moon, that's why I've said, right? The tiger rays, I want to specific to one particular rays. The ground I want you to refer, or the South Pole. In all these cases, you can use the. Now, let's understand what is that basic difference between a and the. Focus on the statement right here. I bought an ice cream and a chocolate, but only the ice cream was eaten. So if you focus, we have three articles, a and the over here. Every article has a specific use. So when I want to focus about something for the first time, I said I bought an ice cream and a chocolate. Now I want to be specific to one object out of two, and hence I said, but only the ice cream was eaten. Since we declare both the objects in the first part of the sentence, in the second part, all I'm doing is referring to the previous information, and hence it's simple to use the. There is one more case that will be important if you really want to complete your articles chapter, and that is your zero article. What about the nouns where we don't use articles at all? What do we do there? In those cases, you have something called as zero article. Zero article is used before uncountable and plural form of a noun to talk about people and things in general. So neither I'm declaring something for the first time, neither I'm being specific to something unique. All I'm doing is to talk uncountable and plural form of a noun in general. Like children like playing in the ground. I refer to all the children. And this, if you notice here, is an uncountable and plural form. Let's dance on Bollywood song. Did I mention the Bollywood song? Did I mention one song? No, I mentioned in general. And hence I don't need an article before these two nouns here. Zero noun is also used before the name of particular people. Like Narendra Modi is making the Indians proud. Over here I have used an article because I want to show about a proper noun Indians, but here since it's a name of a person and particular person, I'll say Narendra Modi. The name of Mahatma Gandhi is unique. So it's a name of a person. I will just directly use the name itself. I will not say the name of the Mahatma Gandhi, the Narendra Modi. No, that's incorrect. In some proper cases or with some proper cases, you don't use an article, or you can say you use a zero article, like countries, India, China, Australia. Only countries that are specific to a group will use the in front of them, else they will not requiring any article. Cities or states like Lucknow, UP, mountains, or you want to talk about companies like Mindtree, Google, Apple, they're just companies. There's some proper nouns. Just use zero article. Continents like Asia, Africa. So that's all for your article so far. Please go through the entire slides again. Get your doubts clear. Make notes wherever it's required. And go through your chapters quite often. That's the only way you understand grammar. I have an additional advice over here that if you really want to focus on correcting your information, please take a moment to understand if you are saying everything correct. If not, stop yourself, start again. That's all for you today's class. See you in the next class. Thank you.